No one can't know that. Only you know, it's weird, it's weird. Hi, I'm MAK 10, aka Big Mac 10. I'm one of 6 brothers, one of 5 brothers, sorry. I lost a brother in around 2016. He was stabbed, murdered. I think going back before that, yeah, I just grew up in a household with 5 boys, 6 boys. Dad's a musician, you know, drums, reggae music, you know, the environment of a Caribbean household, Caribbean, Jamaican heritage, I should say. So, yeah, man, you know how it goes.
Sorry to hear about your brother.
That's all right.
As well. How's that impacted you?
I think at the time, I didn't know how it had impacted me. Now I'm at peace with it, but I was very good at sort of burying my emotions and not letting anyone see any emotion from me. So I just sort of kept how I felt to myself. It didn't really affect me as much as I thought it did once I looked back. And I don't know, people grieve differently, and that was my way of dealing with it. I just didn't want to acknowledge it.
And how have you processed it now?
Processing it now, I think I'm at peace with it. I think I had my moment. You know, I had some regret around not going to see his grave as much. You know, and I think when I went there, I think I had my moment at his graveside, and then I let it go, and then I just go back every now and again and do what I need to do.
Okay. With respect to your brother, what's his name, if you don't mind?
Nico.
Nico, so respect. R.I.P. to Nico.
R.I.P.
Whereabouts do you sit in the lineage of brothers?
I'm a middle child.
You're the middle child. Okay, so what was your role growing up?
My role, well, it changed because I was the little brother for a long time because my other 3 younger brothers come quite some time after me. So.
What, from Jamaica?
No, I'm talking born.
Oh!
Born after me, yeah. So I was always the little brother, so I got, you know, the youngest child treatment. Growing up in my household was carnage. Yeah, I'm trying to, no, it was carnage. It was carnage because, you know, my brothers was outside making a lot of noise, let's say, like, you know, as you do growing up in that time. There's no social media or nothing like that, so you find things to do, and in them times it was, you know, a bit chaotic, and I was used to it. There was a lot of drama, police, and you know, just drama. You know, like young boys out in the street with not much to do. You know, so they're finding things to do that may not always abide by the law, but it might just not necessarily too serious.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
So what is it that you kind of found yourself doing at a young age really well? Like, where were your bright sparks? So, give you an example. They used to say to me growing up, you should be a lawyer. You chat. You always got something to say.
Yeah.
You know, you always got an argument to present. Like, who are you in the household?
I think I'm definitely the thinker.
Okay.
I'm definitely a voice of reason. And I just always has been a thinker, and you know, I'm always dissecting things and looking for a clever way out, or trying to take a shortcut. But that was who I was. I was always looking for a way out, though, definitely.
What kind of inspired you growing up? Like, what kind of things? Like, again, to give you some examples, some answers I've had is, what I think about is when I watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I always thought, I want to have a family like that. Growing up, like, I want to do whatever it takes to kind of have that type of family and set up. Like, what was it that kind of fed it into your level of inspiration and wanting to do something with your life?
I don't know if I saw something that made me want to do that, but maybe I did. Maybe I used to look at other people or what other people had, and I always wanted more. Not to say I was living like in a way where I didn't have enough, but I wanted more. I felt like I wanted more for myself and more for my family. I just always wanted more. I just wanted to do better.
Why?
Because I just wasn't, I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel, even though I felt like, you know, like if you grow up with not as much as your friends or not having the things that your friends get and as accessible as they do, it left an imprint on me that, no, I want that too. Because, you know, you look around and I'm like, in the odd occasion when I could get that thing, I know how it made me feel. Now, as I'm older, I know that that's probably not a good thing, that something external should make me feel a certain way. But however, growing up, I don't know that. So I'm trying to fix how I feel with exterior stuff. So if it's clothes and I put on new clothes and I feel a certain way, I want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like that once every 3 months. I want to feel like that all the time.
But did you have that conversation with your parents? And if so, what did they say to you?
I probably but I'm someone I've always spoken my mind. I say that much. And sometimes it don't come out the right way, because I used to think certain things and then it would leave my mouth. Do you know what I mean? And it'd be like, what? You're not meant to actually say that. I'm not going to say the type of things I'd say, but I definitely would have addressed it.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you probably don't remember what the response was.
I definitely do.
Oh, you
But
do?
yeah, no, I do, but it's not like the way I would say things is not. I don't know what response I was looking for, but you know, it's followed me today to watch how I speak to my children and the things that I allow them to do, and the things that if they say they want to do, I will never tell them then they can't do it.
Okay, so just flipping it on its head a little bit.
Yeah.
You have children.
Yeah.
If they were to say to you, Dad, there's things such as clothes, items, things that I want that my friends have and I don't have, how would you respond to that?
Me right now,
Yeah.
I'd get it from. I know it's not the best thing, but that feeling that I had disturbs me. So, for instance, my youngest daughter, I don't know how to say no to her, you know, and I know it's not the best thing, but I just know I don't want her to ever feel like she can't have something. So now, I just give her whatever she wants.
So what do you think that's going to do to her when she starts getting no's in the world?
She's spoilt. She's definitely spoilt.
Okay.
I will switch it up eventually. Once she's old enough to.
How old is she now?
She's only 5. Do you know what I mean? So she kind of knows that I'm gonna get it. I'm on this good cop, bad cop at the minute. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So there is a balance. I know when it's going too far, but you know, it's just that feeling. And like, for instance, if she comes out of school and a type might be ripped up, it sends me into, listen, you know, when you go outside, make sure that you're neat, you're clean all the time. You know what I mean? So, because it just takes me back to how I was as a child. I didn't really carry myself too well. And I thought, there's a thing I used to say, I don't care. But really, I do care. And when she said that to me, it triggered me. Like, oh yeah, I don't care, you're tight. What do you mean you don't care? So it puts me in that space, which is why I behave like that with my kids.
So it's almost like a negative memory that you have as a child. You don't want your children to feel that, basically.
Yeah.
You want to eliminate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your game plan? When you're young, you always have like a bit of a plan, like, okay, how am I going to get out of this?
Well, I was a product of my environment, right? So, but also, my first thinking was I need to set up a business, because I've always thought about, I don't know, like I just look to people, how can the most money be made? Where can the money be made? And for me, the first thing is a business. Like, I'll get a business, you know, and that's how I'll become successful. And
sorry, how old was you when you thought about this?
I was probably young, like 10, 11. I was always thinking about
10, 11,
a business.
I need a business.
Yeah, I need not a job.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, no, I never wanted to do it. I didn't understand why someone would do that.
Get a job?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and if I did, I thought my thinking I suppose the thinking that I'm going to tell you about now started at a later age, but if I was to get a job, I would get the job to learn to be the boss, Does that make sense? So if I want to go into a field I don't know about, I'll go and learn, sit in the job so that I can learn the industry. And once I learn the industry, I want to learn how to be at the top and start my own thing within the industry. That was always my thinking. However, product of my environment, shortcuts, I found other ways that paid well, that I was pretty good at, but obviously it just wasn't legal.
What were some of the key influences growing up for you that kind of, not even just led to that, but led to the things that you wanted to use with money? So obviously there's your friends, but what about culture? What about family? What about music? Like, what other influences basically fed into the things that you think you needed to do these things, to get money?
The things that I thought I needed.
Yeah, like why did you think
Just it's like normal stuff, music videos. Attention is a major one. You know, I saw what happens when you've got like that sort, like money and stuff. So my motives was a lot different then because I was young. It was just all around, like, who's got the shiniest stuff. Do you know what I mean?
So it's all about the surface things, like you.
Surface.
It's crazy. So like, I guess if you were to talk to your younger self, because there's probably young boys out there right now, and we need to talk to them. That want to have all these shiny things, these glitz, these glams, the attention, and they're in a situation that you might have been in or worse.
Yeah.
Any words for them?
It don't last.
Okay.
It don't last. There's no longevity in it. I'm not even going to give any advice on to how to go about that if you're in it, but what I would say, if you've got the means to get out, start a business, invest in property, you know, to find something legal to do with your money, because you're not going to be able to spend it anywhere. You're not going to be able to do anything. And look at every story of people that you're looking up to, and none of them end well. Everyone who I knew who was doing well in that, no matter how much of a good run they had, they're either dead or in prison. There's not many count the success stories within that's going on out there. There's not many. The ones that are not in it anymore.
And you're not dead or in prison, so where did it change for you?
I'm not dead in prison because I had a completely different experience, and my experience is another thing that could happen to you is, you know, you end up like a party guy, like me, you know what I mean? Because my lifestyle turned to drug addiction, alcohol, you know, partying.
How?
I just got to take accountability for myself. It was just a bad choice. I just made a bad choice, and then obviously with addiction, you don't know whether you've got it or not unless you try something. Does that make sense? Like, it could pay out in the other areas of your life. Like, people could be addicts and not know, but they just don't use a substance. Does that make sense? So the mentality is still there. So for me, I just kick-started what was already there.
How did it start though? Because I know you said that it was me, accountability in my stories, but when you think deeper into it, and not to go back into like into rehab, but how did it start? I mean, you were young, you started making money. Where was the transition?
It started way before that. I think.
Before you was 10?
No. I think like the early signs started early, like when I was like smoking cigarettes, smoking weed at 11,
Right.
you know.
At 11?
Yeah, like, because I'm around it, innit? It's not, I say this in a way, I think it might not be everyone's story, but for my friends as well, I think we used to go to school and speak about seeing family members smoking weed and trying to roll up. Do you know what I mean? So I think that environment just made it more comfortable for me to transition into, and I'm smoking weed now, 11, 12. Then I'm drinking alcohol because everyone around me drinks alcohol. And it looks like it's fun because when they're drinking, it looks fun. So I'm already getting involved in that. But for me, looking back in hindsight, when I smoked weed, I'd smoke weed till I'm like greening out, or I drunk too, or I'm throwing up. I'm not drinking like everyone else. People are drinking, I'm drinking too. I'm like, you know, legless.
Like,
Yeah. No, I'm throwing up. And I can't drink anymore, but I'm still drinking. And that is the early signs of my addiction.
So talk about like when you started DJing,
Yeah.
how did that correlate? Like you living like that,
Yeah.
and then you started to DJ. How did that journey start, and then how did that go together?
So when I started DJing, I think it was just weird. And, you know, people say weed makes you more creative. I don't know. Yeah, okay. All right.
So you were high?
I was high, yeah?
Okay.
All right, cool. So, but then as I got older, I started going out like on coach trips, like to like Ipswich and stuff, to like garage raves. And we was with like a lot of older people. So then different types of substances started getting introduced. And I tried. And then from there, I think
But you
it,
tried DJing.
no, I did it. I just tried the substance while it had no correlation. The only thing was I was partying. I was going to a rave and everyone was doing it. So it was just like that. But I don't think, it didn't actually get out of hand till like my mid-20s. It started getting out of hand. I started when I was 16, 17. You know what I mean?
How do you think that impacted the success of you being a DJ? Because you're very successful as a DJ, so how do you think that impacted it?
Right, it didn't. It impacted it massively. Is this me now sitting in front of you? Is not. This has only happened in the past 2.5 years since I've been clean. Like obviously I had a run, so I know. I mean, my history, just to go back, I was in Nasty Crew. The Nasty Crew consisted of DWE, Kano, Getz, Jammer, Monkstar, Hyper, Sharky, Storming. There's a few of us, but basically the birth of grime. So Wiley was around, Skepta was around. I was around it, amongst it from the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, imagine this is like, you know, no one's any sort of class A substance. I can't go around this lot with this. So I go over there.
Oh, so you were on some next thing behind their back.
Yeah, 100%. No one can't know that.
You know that,
And you know, it's weird. It's weird. Like I'm like 19, 20 doing that. Like, do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's like, who does that?
Yeah.
Do you know? So it was quite, it was proper, like, and even that's feeding into, you know, I'm secretive. I've got to do this, I've got to do that. But then it started to become noticeable when I started going missing. Like my phone's off for 3 days, but no one really knows. No one knows. You get past the point of being able to have a choice, and that's what this is. That's what you're up against. You think it's all rosy, but you'll get to the point where the choice is taken from you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
How was it taken from you?
Mentally, it's taken from me. Like I ended up in rehab. That's the only way I could stop. Like I had to go and educate myself on addiction to know what I was suffering with. Without that, trying to do it on my own or outside with no knowledge of what I was suffering with seemed near impossible. There are other ways other than rehab, by the way, you know.
And how did your career as a DJ transition from that period of pre-rehab and then post-rehab? You said the past 2 years has changed, so talk to us about that transition.
The transition was, put it this way, I lost bare opportunities. I couldn't build a relationship with anyone. No one would want to really be around me. Only people who was like me would be around me because birds of a feather, right?
Yeah.
So leaving rehab, what happened was I kind of like just put it out there, I put it online. This is what was going on. I don't know why I did it. I just did it. It was therapy for me. Do you know what I'm saying? So from there, I got a lot of support. And I think that people who knew me maybe understood why I was how I was. And yeah, I just worked on building relationships, just focusing on music. I just blocked out any noise. And I just wanted to do music again. Like at first, I thought I couldn't because I was like, this is a trigger, can't do music again, I'm gonna have to find something else to do, business. Let's pursue that. So I thought, let me just set up my decks at my house, and then I just fell in love with it again. I was back to that 15-year-old kid in my bedroom, just doing music because I loved it. It was a complete reset. And that I just think it's just brought me here today.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and I'm guessing your career's accelerated ever since you kind of come out of
Yeah,
rehab.
yeah, definitely.
Anything that you kind of, that's on your to-do list, on your to-hit list, that you really want to aspire to, that you want to achieve, that you want to put out there in the world for people to just know, just in case they want to jump on, they want to help you, they want to collaborate, what
No,
is there?
I think I want to pursue my clothing label. That's one. So I want to pursue that.
Is it?
No, this ain't it. This is a Visu.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I want to pursue that. But in music, I just want to travel, you know. I just want to explore different sounds, different cultures. And, you know, I'm working on an album at the minute. So yeah, I'm doing all of that, like stuff that, and stuff is happening for me that I can't believe. Sometimes I have to pinch myself.
Because you're in a place to receive it.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not perfect, but I'm working on myself. And, you know, so yeah, I just try not to take things for granted. And if I feel like I am, I just, you know, so it's just that, man. I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. You touched on something that I wanted to sort of say, because the reason I spoke online about my addiction, right? Because there's people who look like me, who's involved in what I'm in, they're in grime, they're in hip hop, they're in whatever, that probably feel a bit ashamed about the stuff they're going through. And I know, because I know people who are like me, you know, and I just wanted to be a voice that it's all right, because even sitting in the rehab and looking around, you know, who represents me? Who is there to look at? Because you know, when you look at the TV, there's certain celebs, you know, and you think it's like a certain type of thing that, and a certain type of person that goes through this stuff. But where's the person that's like me? You know, so I've noticed that, and I said, you know what, I'll say, like, it's all right. You get me? It's all right. I've been there. And if you're serious about it, like, I've got no shame in saying what I went through if it's going to help someone.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. I feel like people can really like appreciate you more for the honesty and the vulnerability. So keep doing that. Like, I think that's dope.
Thank you.
Keep doing that. What's inspiring the album?
The album at the moment, so I transitioned from grime into house, and I haven't really transitioned. I'm just exploring new sounds, right? So I've started doing house, and it's just brought me a whole new audience, right? A whole new demographic. So I'm like, yo, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. So yeah, so let's do it. So that's what I'm here, and I'm enjoying it. Things, again, a whole nother trajectory is happening. That's why I'm here. Soundbite, and we're gonna enjoy some Afro sounds.
Amazing. And then, and last but not least, if there's any fan out there that wants to cook you a meal, that wants to, you know, really put a smile on your face, what is the meal that they can cook for you, and why?
Anything Caribbean, apart from oxtail, because I can't take the texture.
Oxtail?
No, I just remember it tasting like jelly.
In your head.
No, I swear that. I swear that. Anything but that Caribbean, I'm good still.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking time out to sit and be open and vulnerable with us.
It's all good.
And wish you nothing but the best. Share your album details with us.
Yeah, I will. And big up Unfiltered and Shy Music. Watch out for this album. I'm going to play some of my songs in there, and you're going to see. Big MAK 10 out.